If you finish your beginner gains, congratulations. You have reached the point where training becomes more interesting because beginners grow from almost everything. Intermediates, lifters don't. From this point on, your result will depend far less on luck and far more on quality of your programming. So the biggest mistake is still trying to train as a beginner. Your body has adapted, you have changed. There's an identity switch. You're no longer a beginner, now you're an intermediate. Progression has stopped weekly for you. Back in the day, you did not really matter if your programming was subpar, or your sleep, or your diet, but now it actually really matters. Programming is king. Everything has changed from this position because now you have to attack things intelligently. You have not hit your natural limit, you just hit a normal stage where finally things you can address. You probably have glaring weaknesses. So programming becomes king. Every selection of exercise, every accessory has meaning. Your upcoming program needs specific goals. You need to address individual weaknesses. You need to attack them fully. You need to have a straight path where you need to chase. You need to think about volume, you need to think about intensity, you need to think about recovery, you need to think about multiple things in the future. Not doing that will keep you staying in a beginner phase or lifetime intermediate, never reaching down in your later phases. Try to ask yourself, what do I actually need? It really help to address multiple things later down. Consequently, you will make way better gains down the future by that. So focus on your weakness deliberately because they are the missing link. In the beginning, everything was weak, but now there's some glaring weaknesses you can address. This makes a big difference from the beginner stage where everything is weak to later down, there are some individual weaknesses. So address your weakness deliberately because they can change your life. So allocating all your resources on one individual weaknesses called the specialization phases, you can deliberate focus on one individual thing and destroy those kind of weaknesses. If you want more information about specialization phases, watch my video why every lifter needs a specialization phase. But specialization phase meaning you're allocating all your resources on one individual point, you're trying to remove it, you're doing that in different kind of season and arcs, trying to put maximum volume and intensity on one individual group or exercise and try to increase performance on those muscles and exercises. Another thing I will also recommend is looking into periodization. Periodization basically means planning. There are multiple periodization models called non-linear, linear, undulating, block periodization, or what I really like is the conjugate periodization or concurrent periodization. This video will be way too long if I describe every periodization model, but if you guys want a periodization model full in detail, I can make it, but let me know. But I would highly recommend looking at some periodization models and focusing on specialization and focusing on individual weaknesses and focusing on a lot of individuality, basically meaning your individual weaknesses or your individual needs are different on different kind of people. And that's basically training. If you do all those kind of things with maximum intent, there will be a lot of progression you can focus on. So again, focus on periodization models, go a little bit deeper on them, but you gotta think my training needs a plan. There should be deliberately focused on a specific subject of muscle groups or seasons or arcs. A great thing you can do in your lifting journey, and especially after the beginner phase, is increasing your exercise toolbox. Don't think only about squat, bench, deadlift and a push down. Try to do multiple variations. Try to expand your lifting. Try dips, try push-ups, try overhead presses, try incline presses. If you have done hack squat, try different kind of variation of stance, of pauses or tempos. Play with different kind of things. They have a new stimulus. You have not adapted to them yet. And by doing so, you can reduce injury because you're placing pressure points that can really help to reduce injuries. And you're making training more fun. But also the adaptation cycle has not hit yet. So there's way more progression of those kind of things. So increase your toolbox. How long you train, your toolbox should be vast. That can really help to select also some individual problems. If you know you have lacking triceps on the long head, but you've only focused religiously on the V bar, you're never gonna get big long head triceps. Increase your toolbox, exercise selection, and you can find more solutions because there could be more problems down in the future. And for my last point, but I think it's most important point, is to be absolutely patient. Beginner gains are, yes, finished. Progression is slowed down, but it doesn't mean the end of progression. There's so many years you can train. There's so much gains you can get. You have not hit your natural limit after 5 years of training. Try to achieve excellence, but be patient with it. Don't try to rush things. Follow all these kind of tips, but patience, I would say, is one of the biggest things. Because without patience, you will program hop, you will probably use pharmaceutical drugs to accelerate your progress, and it will be a shame. So patience is key in this game. So to summarize it all, don't be discouraged, be excited, because there's a lot of gains upcoming. You just need to attack things more intelligently. Program is king. Try to train your weaknesses. Try to specialize on your weaknesses. Go a little bit deeper on periodization models. Try to be patient, and an array of gains will be awaiting for you. So thank you for watching, and I really hope these tips will help.